Hey students, next is time for muscle time. So first of all, we're going to look at the different types of muscles. Remember when we did tissues before, we talked about muscles, the smooth muscle, the cardiac muscle, and the skeletal muscle. You recall that? Yeah, and we'll look at that, review that one more time. And then we'll look at the different characteristics of muscles, the special things that they can do, such as excitability and contractility, so be sure to focus on that, as well as the functions of the muscles. Don't skip this. This is excellent exam material here to study for. And then we move on to skeletal muscle. So rather than just general muscle, now we're looking at just skeletal muscle. And when we look at it, be sure to note there's a big pictures coming in here, and you got to take a look at it from the bigger picture to more detailed to more detailed again as we go from the overall organ down to the individual muscle cell. And there's also some connective tissue involved with that you need to look at closely. Make sure you know the names. Paramecium is one of them, and so be sure to check that out. Okay, and one thing to note when you look at the anatomy of muscle, there's a lot of letters involved. What the heck is that about? So you got to sit there and study it, because you're going to look at the actual structure of these muscles and all the little components involved. And then moving on to the sliding filament model of contraction. So study that closely. Okay. You'll look at physiology of muscles. You look at acetylcholine and acetylcholinesterase and how that functions. Okay, and how there's going to be a flow going from the nervous system into the muscle, and then as the flow of current from the action potential comes in, there's going to be releasing of ions, calcium, and whatnot, and then there's going to be regulatory proteins that are going to be involved with the actual contraction. So look closely. There's one lovely image of that you need to check out that'll show all those different steps. So be sure you take a look at that. Okay, next we move on to muscle metabolism. So metabolism is important, involving ATP and the use of ATP relative to how much oxygen is present. We could have aerobic, and then we could have anaerobic situations. One thing to note is that a lot of the muscle energy goes to warm your body. Something like 40% or something is actually going to be transferred to the blood to keep you warm. So remember that when you're out and about. If you're getting cold, then you should go out for a little jog, and that's going to fix that little problem. Okay. You also look at the force of muscle contraction, all right, and the size of the cells and that kind of thing. Duration of contraction, and again, amount of oxygen. We have the different fibers. We have fast glycolytic fibers, slow oxidative fibers. We have fast oxidative fibers. So there's the three different types of fibers. Be sure you take a look at those. Okay. And also how exercise affects the muscles. Some very interesting studies have been done in the past, which were interesting, where people actually cored the muscles. I would hate to do that, wouldn't you? Send a little core in there after certain kinds of activity to see whether certain kinds of muscles of different types will form there. Kind of interesting. Anyway, and then we're going to end with smooth muscles. We're going to look at smooth muscle. Again, the structure of the smooth muscle, how it contracts, and the different types of smooth muscle. Well, anyway, have fun, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.